When a plan suddenly shatters, we are often conditioned to see the shards as a final result. Society teaches us to interpret this moment as an irreversible dead end. The immediate result is a psychological vacuum. It's a mix of shame and panic, followed by an urge to hide the evidence and move on as quickly as possible. But the difficulty in bouncing back often isn't about a lack of effort. It comes down to how we perceive the timing of the event. We deal with two very different scales of adversity. There is the micro-crisis, the sudden, acute disaster that happens in an instant, and the macro-struggle, which is a long, quiet plateau where nothing seems to change. Treating a long-term struggle with short-term panic, or ignoring a sudden crisis, makes it difficult to find a way forward. Survival starts by identifying which of these two timelines you are actually standing on. Consider the micro-crisis. This is the immediate disaster, like a pot of milk curdling on the stove just as guests are about to walk through the door. The situation is tense. There is pressure from family, the weight of an impending deadline, and the feeling that a simple mistake has ruined the entire evening. In this specific environment, the only effective strategy is rapid adaptation. Instead of discarding the spoiled milk, the solution is to isolate what is still useful. By straining the liquid whey through a cloth, you are left with the solid curds, the raw material for something else entirely. By adding heat, sugar, and spices like cardamom, the texture and flavor change. You aren't fixing the milk, you are using its new state to create a different outcome. The result of this pivot is Kalakand barfi. What began as a kitchen disaster becomes a sought-after dessert. In a microcrisis, the mistake provides the ingredients for the next step. Success here depends on the ability to see the ruined asset as a new beginning rather than a loss. But some struggles don't happen in an afternoon. The macro struggle is defined by years of effort that produce no visible reward. Look at the first 4 years of a journey like Arjun's. On the surface, his results are a flat line. While he works, the social pressure and mockery from those around him only continue to climb. This is the primary danger of the long-term struggle. Because there is no visible progress, the people watching often conclude that the effort is a failure, and they'll pressure the individual to give up. This environment requires foundational growth rather than a quick pivot. While the results above the surface look like a flat line, there is an invisible network of experience and learning expanding beneath the surface. When a breakthrough finally happens in year 5, it looks like a sudden stroke of luck to outsiders. In reality, that spike is the direct result of the years spent building the structure underneath. We see this in nature. It turns a moment of shame into a problem of strategy. A ruined plan or a long delay isn't a sign that you've reached a dead end. These moments are the raw materials you use to build what comes next.